Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second. I won't change my mind.
Guys, welcome, my Posh fam. Thank you for joining us. And to my latest subscriber, we did add 1 or 2 members this week. Thank you for coming on board the Posh fam train. Thank you for the show of support. Please go through my playlist, like, comment, and share all the videos you like on here. And again, share this channel. Thank you for subscribing. For my existing, thank you for staying on. And we are going to be recapping the reunion episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, let's just quickly get into it. I am trying my best to have a way to run a commentary or recap on most of these reunion shows. I did try it with the Beverly Hills Housewives and I couldn't finish. I only stopped at the part 1 because I felt the reunions are basically where these women sit down to rehash conversations that has been had. And so it is hard for me to want to go back and give an opinion I've already given in my previous commentary. And so I just felt, do I want to talk more about these reunions? I really don't know. But for this particular Real Housewives of Potomac, I will try and talk about the reunion. And that's because the season finale left us with a curveball, left us with a cliffhanger. And that is the situation between Mia and Gordon. We saw the marriage literally fall apart towards the end of the show, and at the tail end it was basically verbal diarrhea from Gordon to his now ex-partner Mia, and DJ personality, which is corrected Andy a few times on this episode, you know. So Andy did introduce or kickstarted the conversation on this particular part 1. However, this is where it ended for part 1, and so I feel like this is going to be the central talking point in the second part of the reunion special. Now, the women sat down with Andy, and very quickly I want to talk about the fashion before I start with the intention stating. They looked their absolute best. From Karen having this nice short hair do, she looked stunning. And by the way, Ashley did try to shame her about what she's got done on her face or her body, if any, and Karen came out up front to say, full disclosure, yes, I had something done on my face, however, my body is all mine and it's banging. And that's a 60-year-old woman telling 20 whatever something chick that, know your place, girl. That was an absolute comeback from Karen. In fact, that was a highlight for me in this particular reunion. Now let's talk about it. Andy and the well-dressed, there wasn't a bad look. Honestly, I would want to say maybe 1 or 2, but there wasn't a bad look. This particular reunion, sit down with the ladies, they all look stunning, dressed in I think was it a monochrome theme, and the backdrop was from the Icon photo shoot that they had 2 episodes before the season finale, where Mia introduced them to a particular lifestyle magazine who wanted to showcase or feature them in their iconic state on his magazine, and that was exactly the backdrop for the women. Now, we all know Nneka, who's a new entrant this season, wasn't featured on this particular magazine cover or magazine shoot, and so her initiation into the grand dame status of Potomac was used to feature her on the portrait lineup at the hall where they all sat. Now, so again, Andy started this show very well intentional. He wanted them to all set intentions, and we can all agree this particular episode, this particular season, apart with the exception of 3 or 4 episodes, was a snooze fest. Like, at some point I was literally tired of watching because we just kept going on in circles. The divide was just too wide a gap to actually enjoy these women on TV, have fun. It was just so hard. The division, the animosity, it was hard to watch. And Andy, in part, okay, we're going to set an intention, and this is what we're going to be looking forward to actually try and have a cohesive, united front in our conversation starter. And they did try. I guess they had, apart with the exception of Robin and Giselle, who started the who were lukewarm with the intention setting, and they called it, the season was a disaster to watch. The women were at loggerheads and no one wanted to come and have a kumbaya. There was the division, the group moments was just hard to watch because they didn't want to get along, and those who were not getting along were not willing to have conversations or share the screen time together. Again, it was really hard to watch. But one thing that was definitely a breaker, I mean, like that got them together, if I should say, was the conversation about sex. And that we all saw that every time they had a conversation relating, or there was an sexual innuendos, you could see them kicking, giggling, and laughing their head off. And so we saw a highlight of those particular conversations that was actually fun to watch. And next thing we needed, they dived straight in. I think Robin was first on the hot seat, or maybe Ashley. As we all know, Ashley said what did she say? There are now steps. She's now in steps. She's not divorced yet, but there are movements. That was her word, movement, whatever that means. And we're just going to say, because in the same vein of saying there are movements to divorcing, she then went on to say she has been massaging Michael's feet every day. Like, how are you massaging your ex-partner's feet every day if there are movements to Splitsville? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And with Ashley, we really don't know, but we can say for sure the check is still running. There's no time limit for those checks to be getting to her pocket, so she's good. And we went straight to Giselle, Robin and Giselle. Robin, of course, we all know what happened this particular season, or the season prior to this season, where she refused to disclose all that was happening in her home front with her husband Juan, who was on the making news headlines, at laundromats, hotel with a Canadian woman and all of that. And I think Andy wanted her to have some ownership or share in part. You're on a TV show. You should definitely express. It's a reality show. Now, how can you be in a reality show and not talk about what's happening in your life? That sort of thing. And very quickly, as always, Giselle is very defensive. By the way, her brand, is it Glow 30? It's still in the work. It's not yet up and running. She made that very well known to us. And again, she was very defensive. And again, as you all know, Juan was absent. He's been absent in most of these reunions, and you can understand why. He doesn't want to sit down and answer any questions. He doesn't think he owes anyone any explanation. That's who he is, and trust Robin to be, defending his honor, which she did. Now, but she did say something. She wasn't going to acknowledge or deny what has taken place. According to her, she doesn't know the full story. Like us, we don't know the full story, so it's all again speculation. She trusts in her man 110%, and I can understand why. According to her, 28 years of being together, it's no joke. They go through the bad time, and when it's bad, it's really bad. And they go through the good time, and they have kids together. And so they are trying their best to understand this education that is marriage, and it is, not for the faintest of heart. And we could give it to her, There's a lot she doesn't know. This is the man she's known for the most part of her adult life, and she is not taking it lightly, and she is in it for the long haul. So we're gonna say, Robin, we're gonna give you a pass. Whatever you're going through, it is for you. It's your cross to carry. And if you are happy, as she said she's happy, I think that's all there is to this whole situation. She again reiterated the animosity she has with Candice, who attacked her relationship. And we're going to get there, because just as that was going on, there's, again, clearly stated, Candice and Robin are never ever going to be friends. And I can actually see why Candice walked off the show, because the settings was not in support. Like, all of the feedback, all the commentary, all the rehashing did not support Candice in a way. It made her look really bad. It made her come across as antagonistic. But you could see the girl was trying to defend her relationship. She was trying to defend her character. And when you are being character assassinated on a TV show, you have to fight. It's a fight or flight response. She is a superstar. She's got a musical career that is on the works. According to her, she is going to be focusing on her music career. She's still as confused as we are if she wants to have a baby. We saw her with the therapist crying about having a baby, but now she has music, new music on the works, and so I guess baby making is going to take a back burner. We still don't know. She doesn't know. So if she doesn't know, we can't really give you a definitive answer as to what Candice wants for her life. And this particular conversation then chat back again to Karen, who was given the floor to talk about, how this particular fence sitting, this particular season, affected some of the group dynamics. In part, Karen is responsible for the divisions in the group. She sits in the fence not because she doesn't see the need to hold people accountable for their actions. She sits in the fence because she feels, when it's not my fight, I don't need to get involved. However, I will call it as it is or as I see it, and I am not going to misword, and I'm not going to play favoritism. Don't expect me to support you. Just know that I'm going to speak fact. And that's exactly what Karen did. Karen, in fact, told Robin to that effect, told Giselle the same thing. I think with the back and forth between Robin and Karen, as highlighted by Andy did try to have Karen and Robin share things they feel they're good at. Robin tried, and Karen, in her compliment, it was just like, are you complimenting this chick or you're just having a go? Because the only thing she said was, you're friends to Giselle. We all know that. It's clear. What else? It was just weird. And from this particular conversation, it got heated between Giselle and Candice, because I think there was the conversation that was had between Giselle and Karen, where Giselle felt Karen wasn't supporting her against the other chicks, which is Wendy and Candice. And Candice said, to which Karen said, you have a problem with my friends. I'm not going to speak on your behalf. You sort it yourself. You're a real woman, right? And this is where Andy wanted to find out where they were, or where they sat, or where things sat. Okay. Giselle felt she received DEATH threats emanating from the conversation that happened at the last reunion, where Candice made a colorist statement towards Giselle. Now, according to Candice says, I'm not going to be held accountable for what other people do online, which is quite sad. And I'm just going to make a caveat statement here. Fans, let's draw the line when it comes to threatening people that we don't know. Reality show, as we see it, might seem reality, but it's not all reality. It's most of the time scripted. Give these people a pass. Don't go sending people threats. That is dangerous, and that can send you to jail. Like, some things that should be off limits. You are making criticism of people. Please do that with a little bit of decorum, not threatening people because you don't like what you're seeing about them. It's none of your business. They have their life, they're living their life. You live yours, and not get too emotional about the things you see. Let's set intentions that are positive in the midst of having an opinion. I would say that. And I think again, for me, Candice is right not to have the accountability or the burden of holding people that she doesn't know, or trolls that she doesn't know on the internet, accountable for sending threats of a despicable nature to Giselle just because they don't agree or see eye to eye on the show. Candice accepted and acknowledged and apologized in part to this particular statement. However, Giselle really didn't take any accountability at all. She denied until there was a video footage that proved, in fact, she said what she said, accusing Chris of some type of assault. You know that I don't want to say it on here. And when she did apologize, it was very lackluster. It was lukewarm, nonchalant at best. And I'm like, there's no way the two of you are going to ever see eye to eye if you are still coming off as high and mighty, when you should just take accountability, own your thing, and move on. Safe to say, these two are never ever going to see eye to eye. And I think this is the part that actually broke it for Candice, why she eventually said she's not going to, come back for next season, or she's taking a pause from this particular franchise. It's quite sad. Like, I felt Giselle sort of bullied Candice on this particular reunion, when at one point Candice, she felt she was emotional, and all Giselle did was laugh, and laugh, which I was like, who is this woman? She's got daughters, if not Candice's age, but close enough. Like, can she actually see herself? This is quite despicable. Like, it's unacceptable behavior. But anyways, they all broke for lunch because these two women kept arguing back and forth. They broke for lunch, came back, and then the conversation then went on to Mia. Now, Mia, we know what the situation is with the relationship between her and Gordon. She told us in part. Because last episode, or the last season reunion, we saw all the financial woes they were having. And we don't know, like as I said, Mia is a liar. And from all indication, I can actually say this. Mia scammed Gordon. Because it felt like Mia and her now lover, who is radio personality, because she corrected us maybe 20 times, were in cahoots because they were high school lovers. They knew everything. She married Gordon while still in contact, even had some type of sexual relations with this guy whilst married to Gordon, and was collecting all Gordon's check and probably giving it to this guy. And when the tank ran dry, when the bank account ran dry, she's like, I'm going back to my man. That's exactly how I feel at this display. That's my opinion, okay? It's my opinion, and I'm not trying to be salacious, but I'm just saying this is what it depicts here. Because she is admitting in part to most of these things. Whilst I was married, I went back to my ex whatever high school sweetheart. I never fell out of love with him. He never fell out of love with me. Distance made us grow apart, or maybe for financial reasons we were too poor to love each other. And until I found fame and fortune, then I can get you to, we can do the come up together. Because when the conversation started, Wendy chimed in to say that Gordon revealed to them that one of their kids, Jeremiah, which is kind of sad about talking about kids here, Gordon feels, or the DJ Inc. feels, because even when they took a break, we saw Mia calling her DJ boyfriend, who was saying hello to Gordon in the background, and Gordon was calling him boss. And it was so cringeworthy that I felt shame for Gordon, who didn't feel shame for himself. This man is approaching 90 years old, okay? I'm exaggerating, guys. But in saying that, he should respect his old age. But clearly, he's not. And they said hi, and I was like, wow, Mia, controlling two men. Powerful. Powerful. Or is it really powerful? Yes, like I said, this is where the part 1 reunion ended, because we are not sure what Mia is gonna say next with regards to the paternity of Jeremiah, and this is probably where we're going to uncover more, because she said she's moved into a new penthouse apartment. Gordon moved to Charlotte, however, he's coming back to live 2 doors away from her, and I'm like, Gordon, what is going on with this man? Can you move on? Can't you move on? What is happening? What is going on here? Next, the part 2 of the reunion is going to pack a punch, because the men are definitely going to come in to speak for themselves with the exception of one. And I really am curious to hear what Gordon has to say with regards to this whole scenario. Marriage of convenience, open marriage, whatever we will call it. I don't know. But that's it for part 1. I hope I was able to entertain you guys enough. I'm learning the ropes with the reunions. And we'll come here and unpack part 2 of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. Thank you so much for watching this far. Stay safe and be focused. I will see you very soon. Bye.